This is a Nerf Claymore, and this is a Nerf Clayless.
Wait.
This is a Nerf Claymore, and this is a Clay Nerf More?
What?
This is a real Claymore.
I wasn't sure how to start this video because a claymore is more than just one thing.
It is a mine that's set up to take out an enemy, but it's also become a pop culture icon, appearing in movies, memes, video games, you name it. You probably recognize its simple rectangular shape, but could I make a Nerf version that not only works, but is so true to the essence of the claymore that both Nerf and military experts would actually want me to blast them with it?
Who wants to get shot in the phone? Raise your hand.
Let me explain. In the world of Nerf, weapons are caricatures, exaggerations of the real thing. Where a real firearm is covered with little facets and details that are functionally derived, a Nerf blaster is covered with giant notches and fake bolts that do absolutely nothing.
It's the drawing of a child, and that child is also good at making machine gun noises.
Now, like a firearm, the Claymore's form is also functionally derived, but its function is so simple and ridiculous that its form is ridiculously simple.
It's a rectangle with the words front toward enemy on the front.
It's iconic. It's already a caricature.
It's already a Nerf toy. Well, as long as we take out the balls and replace them with holes and then put Nerf darts into those holes and take out the explosive and then replace it with something that won't get us arrested. Now, nobody's done this yet that I can find.
There is a device you can buy that looks like a claymore, but it uses a trampoline sling thing to lob an indiscriminate handful of whatever towards the enemy.
Which is clever, but it doesn't quite scratch the itch.
Tetsu, the YouTuber, made a functional Nerf Claymore using a 40 max, and it seems to work great, but it doesn't fire that many darts, and it also kind of looks like a shower head or something.
Now, I wish that I could say that what I'm about to do is more complicated than just putting a bunch of holes into a rectangle. And I can. Because it is. It's not just holes, it's a problem. The first problem is the holes. The holes are problematic.
Now, thankfully, I do have a rough idea of what I need from having made the Bouncing Betty and the Mini Nuke. The key ingredient is an oversized shaft with a slightly smaller neck right at the end that creates a seal with the dart, trapping the pressurized gases all the way until the dart leaves the chamber, but limiting the friction that it experiences along the way. So I made a test hole, replicated it along a curve, and then stuck a bunch of those into a bent rectangle for printing. Now to start, we're only gonna load half the Claymore because it takes 2 cartridges to fire the whole thing, 1 per side. The Mini Nuke fired 31 darts on a single 40-wad cartridge, but now we've got 48 total, so I figured the 2 cartridges would be necessary to do all of them.
Plus, this is my first prototype, so it's probably not gonna work right the first time anyways. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that was my first test.
That was the first. Why am I so pale? 2, 1.
It works, but it also wastes. Look at all of that unused propellant flying out with the darts. We should definitely try more darts on a single cartridge.
Single inlet, glued, nice threads.
But like the proverbial pendulum, I swung back a little too far the other way. But I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. I think it's because the holes were still a bit too tight. So I decided to try and just ream them out a little bit. But then I think that just made the edges of the holes even rougher.
Well, that was even worse.
An iconic Nerf Claymore has to be done just right. It needs a simple single cartridge to launch the perfect amount of darts, and it also needs to look just right. But this first prototype doesn't. It's too long and skinny, it's not curved enough, and there's too many holes sticking out too far, making it look more like a beehive than a claymore. But if I spread the holes out a little more, I can drop the total number of darts down just a little bit to better suit the amount of propellant that we actually have.
Whoa! All but 5?
Now we're getting somewhere, but even if I get this thing to fire every dart, it won't matter if I have to be holding it to push the button, which brings us to our next big problem.
A claymore is a trap, and a trap that you have to sit right next to, babysitting, waiting for the person to come along that you want to use it against,
is not a very good trap. We need to develop multiple activation methods, and we need them all to be convenient. Just like today's sponsor, Factor. Convenient meals aren't anything new. We all know that fast food is quicker than cooking, but what if you also want quality? That's what I love about Factor's meals. They are super easy to prepare, 2 minutes in the microwave for a meal that, genuinely, every time I take a bite, I'm surprised it's a microwaved meal. It's probably because their meals are never frozen and they're designed by real chefs with real ingredients. And the really convenient part is that they ship these meals right to your door.
Factor has so many great options that my wife kept stealing from me, like this bistro Dijon chicken à la Provençal that she was at least nice enough to take a picture of first. Apparently it was quite flavorful.
And Factor is now owned by HelloFresh, so whatever your lifestyle, there's something great for everyone.
Head to Factor75.com or click the link below and use code JoelCreatesFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code JoelCreatesFB50 at Factor75.com to get 50% off your first Factor box and free breakfast for 1 year. This offer is only valid for new customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. JoelCreatesFB50 at Factor75.com. Thanks, Factor.
Now we do already have a tripwire that I made for the Bouncing Betty. It's simple and it works great. It's hard to spot, easy to use, no batteries, and mechanically basic. But I want more options, so it's time to start repurposing. In the land before digital time, this is how people set a timer for pictures that were also not digital. When you push the button, the dial winds down from wherever you set it and then slowly slides out an activator rod. And wouldn't you know it, after whipping up an adapter for it, that rod is even strong enough to activate the cartridge.
That's now 2 super simple ways to foam your friends from afar. But there's one more method that we can't overlook, and I bet you know what it is.
Now, making a remote is really straightforward if you first start with the remote. All I'm really doing is designing and printing a tactical enclosure, complete with a useless antenna and a safety pin that's actually not useless. You do have to pull it out in order to push it in. The remote is paired with a small relay board, which now fits snugly into the back of the Claymore, along with a battery, a USB-C charge board, a switch, and a connector. The connector allows the motor on the activator cap to receive power, and the spinning of this motor is what presses the 40 max button. You've probably noticed that this Claymore is blue, which means it's new, which means I've probably made some improvements, and you would be right. That's right, we're now getting up to all but 1 dart firing. Of course, it doesn't always do exactly the same amount, but I think this is more than enough darts for us to start considering aiming the darts at some people. But what kind of people do you blast with a Nerf Claymore, and what will those people think of a Nerf Claymore?
Geez, I feel like I'm on a TV show.
This is my panel of experts. These are the people whose opinions really matter. They've been carefully hand-selected because of their relevant expertise, but now we need to know what they think, and then we need to use it on them so that they can get the full experience. By the way, I did also just create like a real product, and there's a Kickstarter starting in like a week. So
it goes live on July 8th, and we've already got almost 3,000 Kickstarter followers for my OddCube air purifier kit. It's a modular system that uses standard furnace filters and computer fans to make an easy to assemble, easy to repair, easy to use, quiet, efficient, and awesome looking unit. And I'm happy to announce that along with physical kits, I'll also be offering 3D print files as rewards.
The Kickstarter is linked below, or at the end of the video, just go to oddcube.com to join our email list for updates and a chance to win your very own OddCube. Now let's go meet our experts.
Justin, just over 4 years in the Marine Corps, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines.
I'm Patrick. I've been interested in Nerf since in college about like 10 years ago.
Tad Hartlaub was in the Army Reserves for 12 years.
I have so many Nerf guns at home, and I love just tearing into them.
I was in a weapons company, just over 12 and a half years in law enforcement. Now I work at a gun shop.
Doing a lot of theory crafting of like different games.
25th Infantry Division as a military policeman, and got out, became a tanker. Drill Sergeant Academy, became a drill sergeant.
How many Nerf battles would you say you've been a part of?
Yeah, of like legit Nerf battles, probably around 100.
My primary focus was weapons, and then I ran the hand grenade range.
Hand grenades are awesome, but they're super disappointing the first time you throw one. There's zero fire at all. Yeah. Huge letdown.
Yikes, these guys know their stuff. So would my Nerf weapons also be a letdown, especially once we set them off later? First, let's see how quickly that they can figure out what I've made.
Claymores.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Claymore.
You did that even faster than the military guys. Why did you know it faster?
It's just a recognizable shape.
Definitely looks like a Claymore.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
I mean, I play video games, play Battlefield. They have Claymores.
It's a shape charge. You're firing out that. Now, obviously, if you're right behind it, you're still gonna get hurt.
How would you know front towards enemy on this if the words aren't on there?
Just where the darts are pointed. It's kind of
In Vietnam, the Viet Cong would take it, turn it around, and then cover it. The guy would go ahead and detonate it, and it would all come right back at him. They started putting additional ways to go ahead and tell if it was tampered with. Sometimes what they would do is actually put a hand grenade underneath it with the pin and set this on top, so if they lifted it, the grenade would go off.
Double yikes. This is very enlightening. But will these experts be able to figure out how my Claymore works just from looking at it?
looks like there's channels in there. It would generate a gas to propel these out.
So is it just a cylinder that you put the compressed air in?
Yeah.
So you pull it
I guess you could do a tripwire, but
and
that prime
sets it
it?
off.
that would be a tripwire.
Oh, okay, so what's
Pull the pin in. That needs to be a little bit more clicky.
I know. I'm
We never got trained on how to do like the tripwire. I just remember getting trained like on the actual just like, oh,
Is this more or less fun than something that looks just like?
I think this is more fun.
I like it.
like I see this, I'm like, that's the first word that comes to my mind. Oh, Claymore mine.
This would be a lot of fun to play with.
And I think for Nerf and dart battles, especially, like this is kind of like the aesthetic that as a whole the community tries to go to.
Now, before we blast them, I figured since we have all of these unique people together, I'd share one more thing with them. That is, if they can figure out what it is first.
It's a bouncing Betty. That is fascinating.
We also call them ball busters. You know, they could work that way. Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Who wants to get shot with one? Raise your hand. Now, you'd think that blasting them would be the best part.
That worked. That worked. It definitely worked.
Check it out. It doesn't always get everything. And to be clear, blasting them multiple times with this thing was awesome. We even decided to test out the bouncing Betty on them.
That was pretty sweet.
That was fantastic.
I don't think I got hit by a dart.
I did. Right in the jugular.
But it wasn't until I was sitting here editing the slow motion footage that I was hit with the realization. These people don't know each other. They're strangers. You got military men and a Nerf guy. What exactly do they have in common? You can see it here after it goes off. It reminds me of kids who have just discovered a really good game. Battles and competition aren't just about winning and domination. They're about navigating challenges, cooperating towards a shared goal, and camaraderie. These men took part in a foam initiation, and now, in a small way, they're bonded by that experience. So let me know in the comments whether you think my Claymore is truly iconic, but whether it is or isn't, it was worth it just to watch these strangers become something more. If you want to support me, then check out the OddCube, and if an awesome repairable modular air purifier sounds cool to you, then go follow the Kickstarter. A huge thanks to Tad, Justin, and Patrick for coming out, to Quincy for filming it, and to you, as always, for taking the time to watch. I hope to see you at Open Sauce in just a few short weeks, but if not, I'll see you next time. I need to test one more thing. Here, catch.